And a very good afternoon to you, wherever you're watching us from. This is TV47, the home of untold stories. You are right in time for the 4 p.m. news coverage. On air is News Now. My name is Samson, Jura, and we begin the broadcast with the highlights. Top on News Now. 3 men, including 2 brothers who abducted in Kitengela, Kajiado County last month, have finally been released.
Tumeweza kuachiliwa leo usiku kwa mkia leo sehemu ya Gashie kwa kichaka.
Also, embattled Deputy Inspector General of Administration Police Gilbert Masengeli has issued an apology to the High Court after being found in contempt in a case involving the disappearance of 3 Kenyans. Mount Kenya University is in the final stages of introducing Maritime and Transport Logistics course at the new Malindi Maritime Academy.
We are really ready for the training, and we welcome everybody to come on board for this training.
We are streaming live this broadcast on YouTube at TV47 Kenya. Give us your comments, questions, and/or suggestions in regards to our broadcast using our socials, that TV47 News on X, TV47 Kenya on Facebook, as well as TV47 KE on TikTok and on Instagram. And we begin with the top story this afternoon, whereby activist Bob Micheni Njagi, alongside brothers Jamil and Aslam Longton, known as the Kitengela 3, following the abduction a month ago in Kajiado County, have been found alive. The 3 reported they were released in the early hours of Friday, just hours after Douglas Kanja was sworn in as the Inspector General of Police. The Longton brothers stated their captors set them free, and they intend to share more details through their lawyer, or the President of the Law Society of Kenya, Faith Odhiambo. A video shared by Odhiambo on X revealed that the Longton brothers were released in Gashie.
Kwa majina naitwa Longton Jamil Hashim, na mimi nawashukuru wa Kenya, watu waliosimama na sisi. Tumeweza kuachiliwa leo usiku kwa mkia leo sehemu ya Gashie kwa kichaka, na tukatembea hadi tukapata estate moja. Hapo ndio tukaomba mahali tukacharge simu na tukaweza kucommunicate na familia kwa tumewachiliwa na tuko hai. Tunashukuru Mungu, na mengi tutaongea kupitia kwa President Law Society of Kenya.
Kwa majina naitwa Aslam Nadhim Longton. Nashukuru wa Kenya kwa kusimama na sisi. Tumeachiliwa leo yani masaa kwa mkia usiku wa leo kwa mkia asubuhi hii, na tumeweza kuachiliwa na tumetupwa kwa kichaka. Ndipo tuko hapa hivi.
On to some politics now. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has criticized the individuals he claims are plotting to remove him from office. While addressing traders at Wakulima Market in Nairobi on Friday, September the 20th, Gachagua asserted that he would not be intimidated by impeachment threats. He emphasized that he was elected by Kenyans and only they have the authority to decide his fate when the time comes.
Mimi nilichaguliwa na Wakenya, sikuchaguliwa na wajumbe. Ninyi mnafanya wajumbe kuwapatia pesa, kuwahonga, ati wauzie Rigathi Gachagua uongo. Mimi niseme namna hii. Mimi Rigathi Gachagua nilichaguliwa na Wakenya, na Wakenya ndio wataniondoa kwa kiti wakati ukifika, si ndio?
Na kama William Ruto hakuwa ametosheka na Rigathi wakati alimpatia nafasi ya running mate, saa hii ndio amefikiria kutubadilishia katikati ya barabara, asahau hiyo barabara. Na tunamwambia mchana, kama umetoka na kura ya mlima kwa sababu umeoa bibi mpya, bijipange na bibi mpya, wachana na sisi.
Sisi tunasema kuanzia sasa tumeachana na mbwa, tunaenda kwa mwenyewe. Tumeachana na mbwa, tunaenda kwa nani? Kwa mwenyewe. na tutazunguka mlima Kenya yote, tutaenda Western, tutaenda Nyanza, tutaenda mpaka Coast. Si mambo ni hayo?
Now, the United Democratic Alliance Party UDA has today officially launched the UDA Comrades chapter, bringing together 2,000 university and college students from across the country. As part of this initiative, the party announced plans to kickstart a nationwide tour aimed at engaging more students and youth in various regions.
I am very happy to stand before you here today to speak for you for about 2 minutes, just to appreciate this partnership that we have between the UDA party and my office to ensure that we bring on board the voices of young leaders. Kenya, the median age is 19 years, and so this country belongs to you, the young people.
This is what has been missing, the engagement of our young people in the right places. Now, I want to congratulate the party UDA, SG and chair, kwa sababu wakati hawa vijana hawana nafasi ya kujiendeleza, kupeana ideas zao, they will end up in the streets if they don't have a voice.
Hawa ndugu zetu wadogo wanahangaika sana. We must give them an opportunity to not only hone their leadership, but like what those before us did, for them also to cultivate their leadership and take over the positions of power and responsibility.
The Gen Z revolution, let me say, taught us that the young people are tired of just talking and nobody is listening. And that they are not afraid to speak truth to power. And I want to encourage you to continue in that journey, because if the conscience of society does not speak, society will collapse.
The fact that you are a UDA member in the UDA charter does not mean that we don't correct our government, you don't point out when there are difficulties and things that you consider are not in accordance with the promise that has been made by UDA as a party. And not just us, anybody that is in leadership.
On to matters academia. Mount Kenya University is in the final stages of launching a maritime training academy in Malindi, Kilifi County. This is to offer maritime courses. Our reporter Joash Onsare is in the area and joins us with the latest. Joash, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jura, from our headquarters in Nairobi. We are in Malindi town at Mount Kenya University, Malindi campus, and today we are here to witness a mock that is happening, and we are going to be joined by Dr. Kilei and Dr. Mutembei to give us a preview of what we are going to discuss today and what we are expecting going forward as far as maritime training courses are concerned. And now we talk to Dr. Kilei. Dr. Kilei, thank you very much for creating time and speaking to us. What are we expecting, especially when we are talking about maritime training courses going forward in this institution?
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to appreciate the opportunity. We are expecting quality training in a maritime, one of which is STCW. That we are just widening the first trial class this day. We welcome all the aspiring seafarers and even the current seafarers to join us for the course. I just want to aggregate to say that on 26th of September 2024, as we celebrate the World Maritime Day, we shall on the same day be officially launching the Mount Kenya University Malindi Maritime Academy right here in Malindi campus, and so we are glad to join the world in celebrating the day. At the same time, we officially launch the academy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kilei, for the sentiments. And now I will be joined by Dr. Mutembei, who is also behind this project, to give us more details. Dr. Mutembei, I know a lot is expected here in Malindi from you. What are we looking forward to, especially in the maritime industry?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much, TV47, for coming to Malindi, Mount Kenya University Maritime Academy. Karibu sana. Yeah, so to start with, in this academy, one of the courses that we shall be offering is STCW. STCW is the basic requirement for you to enter into the sea. whether you are a chef, whether you are an engineer, whether you are an electrician, it is like the ID that you require to apply for any job on the land. So on the sea, you require STCW. And we are providing it for the first time. And more importantly is that currently, any other institution that is providing it here in Kenya, they are only providing basic. We will be providing advanced. As you have seen our facilities are not only for providing basic, but also advanced. And you realize that it is not every country that is allowed to train maritime. Maritime is only trained by countries that are white-listed. And we are lucky, our country, Kenya, is white-listed. Actually, in this region, it is Kenya and Tanzania that are white-listed. So we are looking forward to train people from Uganda. We are looking forward to train people from Rwanda, Burundi, Somalia, Southern Sudan, DRC, Congo. We are looking forward to welcome them in Malindi. And the beauty about Malindi is we have an international airport, which is 1.5 kilometers away from our Maritime Academy. So through the airport, we will receive everybody across this continent coming to train here. And more importantly, we are the only institution that will be accredited in a near future to offer advanced STCW training in this region. That means that the people who are going to renew their certificates in Asia, in Europe, in South Africa, Ghana and Egypt will now come to Malindi and renew the certificate. More importantly, Malindi is the biggest contributor. Kilifi in general is the biggest contributor of seafarers in Kenya. Almost 70% of the seafarers that are in Kenya come from Malindi, from the Kilifi County. And we are so happy that we have brought the training next to them. So their cost of training goes down, so many of them can be able to take advantage of those global jobs. There are many, and we are looking forward to tell more story. So what you can see is a trial class that is going. With the completion of this trial class on Sunday, KMA will now officially confirm us as a trainer of STCW, and therefore we shall welcome the world for this. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Mutembei. That is Dr. Mutembei who is behind this project as well, to ensure that those students who are willing and who wish to work in the ships and also wish to work in the marine ecosystems, they will get an opportunity to participate and make that sector great. That is what we have from Malindi. We'll be gathering more for a subsequent bulletin. Jura, back to you in our studios, Nairobi.
Well, thank you so much, Josh, for bringing us that. Of course, congratulations and kudos to Mount Kenya University for beginning this particular venture. Of course, it is my hope, and Kenya at large, we can have more seafarers who are products of the Mount Kenya University Maritime Academy. And of course, this is something that is truly commendable for Kenya's academia and the job market in general. Moving on, as the Kenya Kwanza government continues to implement the affordable housing program through the National Housing Development Fund, affordable homes still remain a pipe dream for most Kenyans who, according to the latest International Labour Organization statistics, earn an average monthly salary of 14,000 Kenya shillings. Fusion Capital CEO Daniel Kamau has said it is a possibility of affordable housing being a success if the developers can bring down the cost of production and leverage on partnerships to develop affordable property.
Fusion, we have done several developments across East Africa. 4th Avenue, Flamingo Towers, Kigali Heights. Across East Africa, there are developments that anybody can see and touch, and it's our intention to remain in this market. Under Fusion Estates, we are currently availing 2 projects to the market: Crestview in Kikuyu area, I think going for just about 1 million shillings, and Oakmount in Kitengela, going for about 1.8 million shillings. And what makes us different is that one, we do allow people a payment plan, so we have a flexible payment plan. Secondly, I think we have some of the best thought out locations. And thirdly, but most importantly, is we're able to avail our prices are inclusive of titling. So with the prices we quote for our properties, it's inclusive of, tackling. And, we've guaranteed our customers, and in all the projects we've done to date, we deliver titles 30 days after finishing your payment. So, and that's a story we want to write around land buying and selling in Kenya. But also, as a company, we're not just looking at selling plots. We are looking at building communities, and we're looking at being able to finance our buyers. But in the short term, we want to participate in the home ownership story in Kenya, where you begin with buying a property and developing it over time. Yeah. Thank you.
And Kisii University workers poured to the streets despite a court injunction pending the hearing of a lawsuit filed by the government. Officials from the Kisii branches of Kenya University Staff Union and UASU University Academic Staff Union expressed their determination to continue fighting for their rights. They have called on the government to allocate sufficient financial resources to university vice-chancellors to help resolve the challenges facing their institutions.
So we are sending a clear signal to the Minister for Education, Bwana Ogamba. Come out and address issues affecting members of staff in the universities. Caution us, give us the money for the CPA, and then we shall return to work anytime soon.
So this strike is to tell the government our national CBA must be negotiated, signed, registered, and comprehensively implemented. In fact, it should have started yesterday. 2, we have what we call the local chapter CBAs. We are sending the award to the government once again. Release money to the vice chancellors and council members so that that money is able to address our issues internally.
As we speak, the strike is illegal. It's provided for in the provisions of the Constitution 2010, Article 41, 2D. And so we assure our members that their strike is protected and they continue striking until we get.
Meanwhile, as the digital landscape rapidly evolves, experts are urging a reimagining of the education system to better prepare future generations for a technology-driven world. Dr. Christine Nanjala, Dean of Research, Innovation and Outreach at KCA University, stresses the importance of the Ministry of Education incorporating emerging technologies into the curriculum starting at the basic education level.
Technology is here with us. And the way it is evolving is fast-paced. So the faster we agree that this is with us here now, the better. So the ministry should actually work around the curriculums to institutionalize the use of this emerging technology.
Especially looking at the generations that are digital natives, they don't exist in a world of rules because they have access to so much information. They don't understand limitation in the traditional languages that we understand limitations.
You have the right to access any information that any digital platform holds about you. You have the right to request that information be changed or amended according to whatever your wishes are. You have the right to ask any media platform to delete all information that pertains to you.
And now the High Court in Nairobi today gave the former Acting Inspector General of Police, that is Gilbert Masengeli, who is also the Deputy Inspector General of Administration Police, a chance to apologize for not honoring court summons for 7 separate occasions, which led to him being imprisoned for 6 months by Justice Lawrence Mugambi. Of course, that particular court proceeding is happening right now. If we could be able to go to the courts and listen in, because at the moment the judge is currently giving his ruling pertaining to the imprisonment or therefore the uptake of the sentence that Masengeli was given, that was to appear before the Commissioner of Prisons to start serving his 6 months prison sentence, which was due to begin today on Friday. Let's listen in.
The society, it is a cleansing process. Purge is a word which acquired implications first in theological connotations. In the case of sins, purging of such sin is meant through the expression of sincere remorse coupled with doing the penance required. In the case of guilt, purging means to get himself cleared of guilt. The concept of purgatory was evolved from the word purge, which is a state of suffering after this life, in which those souls who depart this life with their deadly sins are purified and rendered fit where nothing defiled enters. End of quote. The court even went further to observe that merely serving a sentence for contempt of court may not be enough to vindicate the authority of the court, and that the best result would be what the contemnor demonstrates when the contemnor demonstrates genuine remorse and seeks the court's pardon. That was a major consideration that this court took into account when it opted for a coercive order as opposed to a punitive order, as the intention of the court was not to punish Mr. Masengeli for the sake of it, but to ensure that the sentence the sentence restores the dignity and the authority of this court. And the court intended to punish Mr. Masengeli right away, it would have not included the purge order as part of the sentence. The Indian Supreme Court, emphasizing on the need to have a sentence that meets the object or the aim of the court, held as follows. Purging process would not be treated as completed merely by contemnor undergoing a penalty imposed on him unless he has obeyed the order of the court or he has undone the wrong. Next step is to seek pardon from the court concerned on the ground that he really had genuinely repented and that he has resolved not to commit any such act in the future. The apology tendered should impress the court to be genuine and sincere. If the court is being impressed in its genuineness, accepts the apology, then it could be said that the contemnor has purged himself of guilt. The question thus becomes, having listened to Mr. Masengeli, is the court satisfied that he is sincerely and genuinely apologetic about the circumstances that led to his conviction and sentence for contempt of court? In explanation, to exonerate himself, Mr. Masengeli stated on oath, giving an account in which he explained why he could not personally attend court on the 26th of August 2024, 29th of August 2024, 3rd of September 2024, 5th of September 2024, and 9th September 2024, including the date of his sentence on the 13th of September 2024. He gave reasons that he was torn between national security duties and his obligation to attend court. He did not, however, explain why he could not commit to attend court on the day he had actually indicated he would attend, that is on 9th of September 2024. He was cross-examined by advocates for the petitioners, and my observation is that his answers appeared genuine. He was calm and polite. To crown it all, he pleaded with the court, stating that if he had been wrong or made an error of judgment in prioritizing other exigencies of duty over the court summons, he sought forgiveness and mercy from the court. He stated as follows, and I quote, "I want to apologize to this court and the judiciary for the events that transpired leading to orders of contempt of court. I respect you and the good work you do to uphold the law. As a police officer, it is my duty to enforce court orders and ensure court orders are obeyed. I pray the court accepts my apology, vacates the conviction and sentence. I so pray." End of quote. This court is convinced that Mr. Masengeli regrets and is genuinely remorseful for the situation he finds himself in. It is not the intention of this court to punish a genuinely repentant man who has acknowledged his mistakes and offered an apology. His conduct today has restored the dignity of the court and the due administration of justice by attending court and explaining the difficulties that caused him not to comply and offering an apology for any of errors of judgment he might have made. His undertaking to always obey and enforce the orders of the court came out strongly. The court is fully satisfied that The purging process has been infused in his mind, or in the mind of the contemner, Mr. Masengeli, the obligation to respect and uphold the rule of law and the due administration of justice. The supremacy of the law has equally been vindicated. To this end, I must arrive to the determination that Mr. Masengeli, through this purging process, has purged his guilt for the contempt of court, and thus both the conviction and sentence passed are set aside. I must, however, not end this deliberation without speaking on the need for all to respect and uphold the independence of the judiciary. It is the judiciary that guarantees adherence to the rule of law. Every Kenyan who means well for this country must fight for the independence of the judiciary so that judges can be allowed to make decisions based purely on law and the facts without the fear of reprisals, interference, pressure or threats, whether direct or indirect. That is the cornerstone of democracy. It should be known to all that the independence of the judiciary is not for the judges per se, but for the benefit of the public at large. It leaves judges with the discretion to make fair and even-handed decisions meant to uphold the rule of law. Judges must never and will never hold. Judges will always hold government organs to account for adherence to the Constitution and the law, and it is the primary duty of the state to ensure judicial independence is protected. I am happy to note from the LSK that the 3 Kenyans, the subject of this petition, have been found. Having said so, and considering everything else, I am making my decision to recuse myself from the further proceedings of this case for personal reasons. I will thus be directing that this file be placed before the presiding judge for allocation to another judge. That's all.
State that we're very grateful for your patience. We're grateful to note that conviction and the sentence have been set aside. And on behalf of Mr. Masengeli, we wish to thank the court. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, on behalf of the panel, we want to most sincerely appreciate and thank you for the magnanimous sympathies you have expressed. You have actually appealed to the contender. More so, the Lord setting aside the conviction and sentence, and therefore allowing Mr. Masengeli, who has served in this country with distinctions in his career as a police officer, who has risen through the ranks to the level where he is now in charge as the DIG, in charge of police administration, and who I am sure from the mercies that you have extended will be able to continue serving this country, will be able to ensure that the borders of this country are secure, and that the rest of us who are also been given this responsibility to serve in our various capacities would serve without any fear that we are under any threat. Suffice it to say, my Lord, that the aspects of insecurity in terms of the Al-Shabaabs and the rest are kept at bay by very committed officers led by Honorable, by the DIG Masengeli, DIG Legat, and now the Inspector General, Mr. Kandi. We therefore, in a very special way, want to thank you, my Lord, and we would continue to uphold the rule of law. We will forever continue to ensure that court orders are not met in vain, court orders are complied with, and indeed that would enhance the independence of all the independent institutions. We thank you and we thank all of them.
Thank you. Anything from LSK?
Thank you, my Lord.
Mr. Mano.
We appreciate the decision of this court. We have also taken note of your closing remarks that you recused yourself from the petition period. My Lord, we had done an application for empanelment of a pre-judgment. The same is dated the 17th of September 2024. My Lord, so that we avoid back and forth appearing before the PJ, we are seeking that if you can indulge us by allowing the application to an post from the state and not the empanelment of the pre-judgment, considering the weight of the matter. We pray that you send it to the CJ for purpose of empanelment. We look for 5 judges. Because we appreciate the court. It has been a long period of back and forth before this court.
Yeah.
My Lord, we are hoping that the rule of law will take its course, and perhaps going forward, our security officers will respect court orders. There is nobody who is above the law. Thank you, my Lord.
My Lord, to make final submissions in this, we are extremely grateful for the court's time and resources in effectively working within a constrained time frame. Today, my Lord, we have witnessed the efficacy and the supremacy of the Constitution, the administration of justice, and even though, my Lord, the court has bowed either to the pressures or to the realities, the accused itself, my colleague, has directed on our application, which is unopposed. Additionally, my Lord, will give us directions on the main petition. We are very alive to the generosity of the court in accommodating the now purged DIG. We hope that this will serve as a lesson on state officers and public officers. Because without the law, then we are all equal to wild animals in the jungle. The remiss of me, Lord, not to mention that were it not for the Law Society, then we would be pleading for costs. The full battalion of the Attorney General, my Lord, is here today, and Government Proceedings Act still operates within a framework that we can realize our day as advocates in court. But we are sincerely grateful, my Lord, on the pressure that was present in this matter. The second
petitioner, the third petitioner, and the fourth petitioner, as confirmed by the President Emeritus Nelson Harvey, were found today. And it will be important, my Lord, to try and get to the bottom of this so that they can personally attend court and explain to the court what actually transpired and whom and who had them in their custody. From the Law Society, we are extremely grateful also to the participation of counsel. We witnessed a very spectacular moment where the DPP was supporting a contemnor. But we live and learn, my Lord. From the Law Society, we are extremely grateful, my Lord, and we appreciate you. As you retire, do have a lovely weekend, and we could take directions on the petition. Thank you.
Okay, so now from the respondent side, do you have any objection to this matter being referred to the Chief Justice for empanelment to a bench?
No objection. No objection.
It's easier that way. Now, considering my recusal, I will be referring the matter to the Chief Justice for empanelment to a bench with the exclusion of Justice Lawrence Mugambi. Understandable.
Thank you.
My Lord, we will keep on reporting from time to time as to our safety. we can be sure that we will be attending court as officers of the court. I know
yes.
This is something that is reoccurring, but I have an obligation to my members so that if we leave here today, we hope that we'll be back on Monday.
My Lord, the President, I think, is... but I just, my Lord, want to also appreciate and say, to confirm that we have not come here pretentious. We have come here as law-abiding Kenyans. The IG, the DIG, both two of DIGs who are here, want to confirm that there is no threat to the lives of my colleagues, my Vice President of the Law Society of Kenya.
And Kenyans at large.
And the Kenyans at large.
Including the court.
My Lord, we also want to assure the court. Yes. We want to assure the court, my Lord, that your security is a prime responsibility of the two DIGs who are in court. And we want to array and fear to any Kenyan that indeed the Vice President and my colleagues, Senator, you go rest assured that your security is ensured. Thank you, my Lord. And we want to thank you for all that you have done for us. I'm sure today everybody will go to the weekend relaxed, and that the fourth estate could also spare Mr. Masengeli and his family. Thank you so much, my Lord.
Okay, so this file will be funded to the Chief Justice by the DR. The application for empanelment of a bench by the LSK is not opposed. Okay, it is allowed. This is a matter this is a matter of immense public interest and raises substantial issues of law. The file is thus referred to the Chief Justice for empanelment of a bench with the exclusion of Justice Lawrence Mugambi. Thank you.
Well, those are live pictures coming from Milimani Court, whereby we have just from hearing former interim Inspector General of Police, that is Gilbert Masengeli, who is also the Deputy Inspector General of Administration Police. 6-month sentence has been overturned by Justice Lawrence Mugambi, who was at the same time recused himself from the case and asked another judge to take up the case due to the conflict of interest. And of course, they say, ask and it shall be given unto you. Of course, Masengeli went to court to plead at the mercy of the court to forgive him, and thereby the court has found his apology compelling, and at the same time said that he was remorseful and of course regretted the decision of absconding court summons for 7 different occasions, and that has led to this particular judgment by Justice Lawrence Mugambi. Remember, a while back, Justice Mugambi's police officers who were assigned to him were withdrawn, and this of course rattled many in the corridors of justice, and so many saw this as a miscarriage of justice and a misuse of power, given that Masengeli failed to appear before the court and at the same time withdrew the officers protecting this particular judge. And to that recourse, Masengeli stated that the police officers were withdrawn so that they could participate in a mandatory close protection training that they were supposed to be given that it is also in line with the codes of conduct of the National Police Service. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast this afternoon. Many thanks indeed for joining us. It is now 4 p.m., 4:41, and of course, as usual, we have a plethora of shows here on TV47, so stay tuned. Of course, we begin with this Friday with Betty, and she will be interviewing a celebrated DJ, that is Pierre McKenna, so you don't want to miss that. Stay tuned. And of course, we go up to 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. where we will have Shiksha Aurora as well as DJ Dewiz as they bring you Tribe 47 show, which as usual comes on Friday, and when that time comes,